Welcome to Yellow. My name is Neil and we are at the beautiful Onyx Resort in Bali. We are media partners with XFounders and we are covering their 4-week bootcamp with founders in the crypto space. So we are here at the XFounders Bootcamp and this is the Africa edition. We are all from the continent of Africa. And we have Joseph from Element Pay and Timothy from Thellex. And we're here to discuss your projects. But I'd love to touch on a little bit about Africa and what the opportunities are in this blockchain space on the crypto side. But let's first hear about you guys. I would like to hear your 30-second, your name, what you do, your project's name, and your 30-second pitch as if I'm Elon Musk in the elevator. Let's start with you, Timothy.
Okay, my name is Timothy. I'm a co-founder of Thellex. And at Thellex, we're helping African businesses to be able to accept crypto as easy and as simple as possible.
Under 30 seconds, amazing. Joseph?
So my name is Joseph Thuku. I'm from Element Pay. At Element Pay, we're enabling businesses to do collection and payout across Africa with and without internet connectivity. Without
internet connectivity?
Yes.
That's interesting. We're going to have to delve deeper in on that. And you're from Kenya and you're from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And are you, in terms of both projects, because I really would like to discuss some of the challenges in Africa particularly, but I think the opportunities as well. But there's a lot of challenges within getting mass adoption of something like crypto. Although we're seeing, especially in places like Nigeria or South Africa, we're seeing a lot of adoption in Kenya, in terms of people adopting it out of their own and learning about the technology on its own. So your business, is it specifically geared to solve a problem in Africa, or is it something that is globally applicable?
So it's both. But first of all, it's to solve the problem back home. Now, a lot of businesses have an idea of crypto, but they don't know how to use it or don't know how to integrate it in their business. We make that simple enough for them that it reduces all the hassle. So for the customer base too, we also onboard users as well that can also, who already have an understanding of crypto and who know how to use it and integrate them into the ecosystem. It's basically just helping both sides see the benefit and use the functions.
And is it a B2B or a B2C product?
We are both, but currently we are targeting on B2B because the more businesses are able to adopt crypto payments, the better for us in the longer run. And it also helps adoption because we notice on the customer side, people are already using stablecoins as much as possible, but the businesses are the ones not integrating this feature to make sure that they're also scaling their business methods as well.
So you bring the ability to pay for goods and services on stablecoins.
Yeah.
And how do you combat the challenge of the local currency or any arbitrage that may happen between, say, the local currency and say, a USDT stablecoin?
Yeah, so we have providers that give us rate based on the FX market. So whatever, let's say I pay $1,000, for example, there's a rate that is given and is being issued to the business owner. So let's say you come, you want to use a Thellex app, you want to pay $1,000, we'll let you know that for $1,000, you're getting maybe the FX rate today is 1,500 per dollar. So you get like 1.5 M in your bank account.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge that you have to mass adoption?
It's education, basically, because there's a lot of things you can actually do with crypto. It's beyond, you can stake, you can make your money work for you, but a lot of people don't understand this. And that's why we are bringing the basic level of understanding. First, you interact with it as a business, you understand what to use it for, then also you scale up from there, and we also add more features that make you know, oh, I have Bitcoin, for example. I can stake it with these guys rather than always off-ramping my crypto, and we keep them on chain and give them the benefit of what it is like to also be on chain as well.
Got you. And Joseph, in terms of your solution, is it Kenyan focused or is it a problem that can be potentially solved globally?
Currently, what we are saying is that we are connecting Africa to the global economy. So we are more focused on Africa.
On the continent itself?
Yeah. And basically, when I'm talking about Africa, I'm talking like 200 billion plus B2B remittances that happens each and every year. And these 200 billion plus operates on fragmented, if you've been to Africa, fragmented payment rails. Each and every country has its own payment system, its own currency. Thus making it hard for a business that is looking to operate in multiple countries in Africa to collect and do disbursement. Even going harder, if you are a blockchain system that is looking to tap into the African economy. Basically, like a good example is one project that we're working with called Lemonade. They're offering insurance to small-scale farmers on blockchain. So they kind of want small-scale farmers to be able to interact with blockchain. But these farmers don't have internet connectivity. They don't have smartphone. Thus making it hard for them to be able to tap into this economy. That is where we are coming into. We are providing them with USSD, which is customizable, that they can offer to farmers, that they can be able to dial, and upon dialing, they can be able to interact with this on-chain system.
So you're using USSD to engage with the blockchain. Is that
Yes.
Is that what you're doing? You're linking USSD technology with the blockchain.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. And where does the point of payment happen? So where do I top up my account on the USSD services?
As a user, you don't have to top up. So basically, let's say you want to pay a business that is in Singapore, and you want to pay it 100 USDT. So you just have to dial our USSD code. Upon dialing, we do provide you a wallet address that is basically on the background mapped to your phone number. So all you have to do is to select the business and say, I want to pay 100 USDT. So we send you an SDK push that you can enter the PIN, and immediately system will be able to convert from fiat to stablecoin and send it to the Singapore business.
And so you're taking a lot of fragmentation and you're consolidating it together in terms of removing the complexity and pooling interoperability together.
Exactly.
What would be your biggest challenge in doing that? What do you think is the biggest challenge for your company?
Right now, the biggest challenge, I won't lie to you, especially for payment in Africa, is liquidity. Being able to offer fiat and of course on-chain liquidity. Also being able to balance it, because most of the currency are volatile. Sometimes you find maybe Kenyan shillings, right now it's at 129 versus the $1. Tomorrow it's 125 versus the dollar, or the other day it's 130. So being able to balance it, and also being able to find people who are more than willing to put more and more liquidity to offer fiat and USDT.
And do you think that solution is a local solution or an international solution in terms of finding that liquidity?
It's both.
It's both. It's a combination.
Yes.
Okay. And what would you say is the biggest challenge with Africa, for instance, as a market? Because it's so diverse in terms of its countries and the way it works. Europe is a little bit easier to deal with in terms of policy and infrastructure. And Africa has so many different policies and it's such a big continent. What would you say is the biggest challenge in addressing that market?
So in Africa, I think the biggest challenge is compliance. So if, let's say, we're able to unify and know that these technologies already exist, if we're unified on the same point of view that, okay, we may not technically financially meet on the same level, but we have rules and legislation to make sure that everybody is able to interact, then it makes everything a lot easier for everybody. Like my brother said, liquidity. If, let's say, I as a provider in Nigeria and him as a provider in Kenya, we both have liquidity, we can see that transactions can be made across board as easy as possible. But in a situation whereby he's finding it hard to get compliant, I also have my own battles I'm fighting, most businesses wouldn't think of those kind of partners because I need to solve my problem first before I go and solve your problem.
Got you. And what would you say is the biggest opportunity in Africa?
I would say Africa is the youngest growing population continent. It's amazing such that right now we are talking about 200 B2B remittances, and by 2030 it's expected to grow up to 500 billion plus. 2035 it's expected to be 1.5 trillion plus B2B remittances. This is money that will be moving from Africa and outside. Leave alone this, it's estimated that we have 1.5 trillion plus untapped value. But the problem being, like he said, compliance, liquidity, as well as infrastructure. And
is one of the challenges in terms of infrastructure mobile penetration or internet? Or is it more the economies of things, for instance, the cost of data? So would you say that it's important that it is a mobile-led infrastructure as opposed to obviously a PC-led infrastructure? Like everything we do has to work with the phone. And do you think that that adoption is saturated enough for you to address all those opportunities, or does it need to be led first with the mobile penetration?
It has to be led by mobile penetration, because Africa is the leading mobile penetration continent in the whole world. And of 60% plus mobile transfer occurs in Africa globally. Thus, if you are targeting anything or you are trying to do anything in Africa, you have to think about mobile first and not PC first. I'm talking about people who operate on feature phones, people who are operating on smartphone. Of course, we've seen like growth in smartphone and decline in feature phone. But also, if you are looking like to tap into the lead value or the local Africa directory, you have to think about mobile first.
Yes, and I think the digital gold in that instance is data.
Yes.
I think that if you think of the number one digital purchase is data in Africa. You know, it's not iTunes or Netflix, it's data. And I think the challenge and the unfortunate challenge is that it's these big mobile operators are the kingpins and the mafia of the continent, because they've got that access point, you know, and you're probably going to have to work with them at some point in your businesses, which is challenging. In terms of the program, in terms of XFounders, what is the number one thing that you've learned from this season 4?
In terms of XFounders,
yes.
One thing that I've been able to learn is to connect with business-minded people. I've been able to interact with people who have 10 years plus business experience, people who have exited like 3+ startups, people who have tried this and have failed, people who have tried this and have succeeded. So I've been able to gather like do's and don'ts. And I will also being able to like apply the do's and don'ts that I've been able to capture from this based on like the African market, because African markets are a little bit different from these other markets. But I would say I've been able to gather more and more experience as compared to how like I came here.
And yourself, Timothy?
For me, it's the connection, because the people that I've been able to meet has opened my understanding to a lot of things, like speaking with Ganji, speaking with a lot of people. Like I've been able to see how other economies work. For example, just seeing that India is just a few steps ahead of Africa and seeing how they're also able to integrate crypto, other things, and meeting people who have different mindsets. So the different mindset has also opened me that you can't only think one way and think their solution is best. There are also other inputs people can also give you to make your products go 10 times faster.
And in terms of why you do what you do, what is it that drives you, and what is it that motivates you every day to do a very difficult job, which is start a business?
Yeah, so for me, it's because of the pain point. So the issue of having money in your bank account and not having the ability to spend it is quite painful. So for example, I schooled internationally. I had limitations in paying my school fees whereby the funds were in my accounts, but it was impossible. And these are solutions whereby we have technically solved by crypto, but there is a lot of limitation when it gets people to use those solutions. So for me, I see it as a problem that we have and we are solving it ourselves. So bringing Africa to the global stage, because when you go to Europe, when you go to America, everybody tells you, you pay your school fees, just use your card and you do a wire transfer. For Africa, it's not the same thing. So the pain hits home. So that's why solving it wakes me up every day that one day, even if I wake up broke, I know that I solved this problem and a lot of people are benefiting from it.
Amazing. And there is opportunity, you know, and I think it is something we need to solve ourselves because it is a unique set of challenges, let's say, and you can't just take what works in China or America and plug it in. I think everyone thinks they can do that, but they can't. And every environment is different, but in Africa particularly, I think there's very unique challenges and can only be solved from the inside out.
Yeah.
And for you, what keeps you going every day, Joseph?
For me, I would say it's technology. From where I grew up from, I was able to see like what technology can do. I grew up in Nakuru, Kenya, and I was able to experience mobile money involvement. That is M-Pesa. So I was able to see like my father being able to send money from the city to us back in the remote area without internet connectivity, using just a feature phone. And this was amazing. This was impactful.
That is probably the first blockchain. The first blockchain is probably M-Pesa. It comes from Africa anyway, yeah.
So
not Satoshi.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe like technology if especially blockchain is able to be built in such a way, it can be able to connect even the last milestone person. It can bring like economic growth. And that is why you see like a lot of businesses are struggling to tap into Africa, yet because we have not yet been able to like connect this global system to the local or the last milestone. And that is why I believe technology is what can open doors to more and more Africans, because for me, I've been able to see and I've been able to be impacted by one.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the project. And Africa's gonna become number one in the next couple of years.
It's the fastest growing economy.
Exactly. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.